Coach, we've seen kind of like a common theme the last couple of years in the national champions is Ohio State and Michigan kind of getting their core leaderships, their core guys to come back and return, and we've seen that happen with you in Penn State. Just my first question is, what went into these like exit meetings for you to get these guys to buy in and get the whole team to like say, hey, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna forego my senior year and go to the NFL. I'm gonna come back and try to accomplish something special with this team and with this coaching staff. What went into it? How did you get that mentality and that mindset going within your returning players?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it really wasn't that because it really back to Coach Herbs's question too. That's a big part of this, right? We're having these conversations during the playoffs. I'm trying to retain my team during the playoffs. And that's the challenge. We're trying to get rid of this so you don't have the transfer portal open during the playoffs.
Right.
We should be totally focused on trying to win a championship, and instead, I'm having conversations to try to keep the team together. So it wasn't like getting the whole team together and say, let's come back. Well, the season hadn't been over yet. Guys were
Right.
having to make these decisions before that. So it really didn't play out that way. It was really just one conversation at a time. And as we've done for years, you sit down with the players and you sit down with their parents and you have all the information from the GMs and the scouts. You're being projected as a third or fourth round draft choice or a fourth and fifth round draft choice. And we've gotten to the point where we got guys that don't feel like they should leave Penn State unless they're going to be a first or second round draft choice. So they want to maximize their experience in college. It may be finishing their degree. It may be coming back to improve their draft stock. It may be also having an opportunity to make a run at a national championship. It's all of those things. And what we talk about too, you know, with team success comes individual recognition. And, you look at the teams that are the most successful, they're able to get those guys back, like you mentioned, and they're focused on the team first, and then all these other things that are going to come as a byproduct of the success that the team has.
And just one follow up, man. We talk about returning starters. Two of the starters returning that I'm most excited about is your two backs, Katron Allen and Nick Singleton. Both had over 1,000 yards rushing last year. And I was able to do a feature on both these guys, and man, it really impressed me how selfless they were, how much they cared about each other, but also how much they compete against each other, and that's how what makes them so much better. But how does their playing styles complement each other? And also, how do you think they've put their egos aside to share these touches over the past 2, 3 years that you've seen, Coach?
Well, first of all, shocker that you want to talk about the running backs right now.
You know
I
that. I
guess
gotta talk to our beast, Coach.
yeah. The first thing I'll say is, to be honest, I was surprised when they both came back. I thought it was going to be similar to our tight end situation
Mm,
where, we had Tyler Warren and Theo Johnson, both tight ends. And once one decided to leave, the other one stayed, or vice
right.
versa. And I thought it was going to be similar. But I also think they have bought into our philosophy here. We don't want to be in a situation where we're sending a running back to the NFL and he's got, you know,
Too much wear and
three,
tear.
400 carries on a season, and then the NFL feels like he's beat up and
Yes.
not a whole lot of, tread left on the tires. Our
Yes.
guys understand, they're really good complementary pieces. It's gonna be really good for their longevity and their
Yes.
careers and things like that. The other thing that really helped that no one wants to talk about is we got a chance to have one of the best offensive lines in college football this year. That plays a big part in this as well. They know who's coming back in front of them, and that's gonna be helpful. And then we went out into the transfer portal and got a little bit of help at wide receiver because if people are concerned about our passing game, as you know, that's
Right.
going to help our running backs as much as anything.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, James. In 2012, I went to the Big Ten. I think you came 2 or 3 years later, um,
I
and
came
I
in,
would
I came in 14.
yeah, in 14. I was shocked when I first got there. Coming from the SEC at just the quality of football from stadium experiences. There were great players, but not enough great players. And even my wife Shelley said to me once, "Man, this is slow compared to what we just did for the last 6 years." And now fast forward, I think the Big Ten has passed the SEC. Obviously, they have a national champ, maybe not top to bottom, but speak to how much the Big Ten has improved. We added the four Pac-12 teams, which have added a lot of depth to the conference. Are you shocked, surprised, proud of where the Big Ten has come from where it was back in the 12, 13, 14 years?
Yeah, I'm proud, and I think the biggest thing is the point you just made. It's strange that the Big Ten is now on the West Coast, but I think whenever you're able to add a USC, a UCLA, a Washington, and a Oregon to your conference, um, you can make the argument this is the strongest the Big Ten has ever been in its history,
Yeah.
from top to bottom. So, yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of being associated with the Big Ten. I'm proud of what we've been able to do. I'm proud of the success on the football field, and I'm proud of Penn State's role in that as well. And I think your point is a good one. We're really competing everywhere now. We're part of the conversation. We're either the best conference in college football or we're least part of that argument between two conferences. I think we both have a healthy respect for the SEC. But when you talk about national championships, when you talk about draft choices, when you talk about those things at the very, very highest level, it's a heck of an argument year in and year out what those two conferences are able to do.
Yep.
Coach, the last couple of years, your program has been so consistent, constantly in that double-digit win type category, and you're fighting for Big Ten championships. You're getting yourself in the college football playoffs. But I do feel there is a conversation out there. There is a narrative about Penn State that we only believe in Penn State up until a certain point. When it's talking semifinals or winning the national championship, it's hard to really push your chips in to Penn State. And maybe that's a narrative that you've heard or you haven't heard, but we in the media certainly feel it. And it's one that we've expressed as well, to be honest. So what does Penn State need to do on the field to prove to people, hey, we belong in this upper echelon of college football?
Yeah, well, I think a couple things. I think first thing is you got to embrace that, right? I mean, that's the nature of major college football. That's part of being at a place like Penn State. I mean, we finished fifth in the country last year, and people are pissed, right? Like that's that's what the Penn State job is about. And you got to embrace that. I'm very proud of what we've accomplished. We've been as consistent as any program in the country. We've been as consistent at Penn State that Penn State's ever been since joining the Big Ten. So I'm proud of all those things. But I also understand, fully embrace that we got to take that next step. And it's winning those games that you're talking about. We totally understand that. And we're excited about it. That's what this year is all about taking those steps. Like Mark brought up, we got a core group of guys coming back that we're going to rely on heavily. But we can't wait. And I think one of the things that we're doing, I think, a good job of is balancing that with also not doing what a lot of programs do as well, which lose the games that you're not supposed to lose. We've done a really good job of that. And what I don't want to do is now we put such an emphasis on these other games that now we end up losing some teams that we're not supposed to. So that's the balancing act. And I'm proud of the staff and I'm proud of the players of how we're approaching it. And we got a tremendous opportunity to change that conversation and change that narrative.
You look at your roster right now. Do you have a national championship team sitting there in Happy Valley right now?
I think we got a tremendous opportunity to do some special things this year. I know you don't want me to do this, but I am excited about our opportunity. I'm looking up on the screen right now. Nevada is our opening game. People are going to say, well, that's not a big game. We'll lose to Nevada and find out quickly.
Yeah.
So we're focused on that. But I also am totally comfortable with talking about the things that we aspire to do as a team this year and as a season. And for these players, to me, that's the biggest thing is I want these players to experience this.
Yeah.
I want these players that have come back and made these sacrifices to be a part of something special. And that's why I wake up very early. And that's why I go to sleep late at night, trying to put these players in the best position to be successful and have a very, very special season this year at Penn State.
Coach, we really appreciate the time.
Thanks,
Enjoy the
Coach.
rest of your summer, and always good to catch up with you. I have a funny feeling we'll be seeing you a couple times this upcoming season.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And I got to say, I think our two running backs, I think those guys may be a little bit bigger than our guy here. I think
Hey,
yeah.
Coach, they should be because I'm retired.
Yes.
I'm just a soccer dad
when
now.
you got the guns out and you don't look retired like that. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Retired.
No,
you don't see me and Herbs doing that. Retired guys
Coach,
don't do that.
I ain't hitting the weights like them boys are. I ain't doing them heavy squats like them boys are, man. I'm chasing these kids around, Coach. That's all I got to do now.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
See you,
You're the
Jay.
best, Coach Franklin. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Light it.